Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Francesca Froio. I'm a permanent makeup artist, and in today's video I'd like to share with you a step-by-step procedure of a permanent makeup between the lashes performed on a man. You ready? Let's go. First of all, let's clarify which kind of procedure we're going to execute today. Today we're going to do an infralash enhancement. This is a sort of a tattoo, actually is a tattoo, that it's performed on the eyes. And generally there is three kinds of eye procedures or eye tattoo that we can do. The most common one is the classic graphic eyeliner, the Cleopatra style graphic eyeliner, mainly requested by women. Then second kind of eye tattoo is the shaded eyeliner. This is very trendy at the moment. It's basically a real eyeliner, but the top border is not edgy, is not defined, is more blurred, and it ends up into like a shadow. And last but not the least, the one that we're going to see today is the lash enhancement, and that's just sort of like a shading that's performed between the lashes only. So we're not going to extend outside of the eye to create like a lifting effect or a makeup effect, but we're just going to shade with a shader needle between the lashes. This procedure is the most natural one, and for this reason it fits perfectly both men and women. So the aim of this procedure is just to bring a little bit more depth to your eyes and to give you a more defined look, which will be perfect for every kind of occasion. Is not gonna give you the illusion of wearing makeup. It's not gonna change the eye shape that you already have. It's just going to slightly enhance it, and no one will be able to tell that you're wearing a permanent makeup on your eyes. There's different kinds of techniques that I can use to execute this procedure, the lash enhancement. Today we're gonna see the most natural one, the softest one that I use, and I use this procedure mainly on men or on women that are terrified to have a too obvious and visible look. So for the first step, the first procedure, when I want to achieve something extremely natural, I can use the technique that I will show you today. Otherwise, when I work, and I mainly work on women, so generally women prefer a more visible and dramatic look when we're doing this kind of procedure, and they want to have like a pencil effect on the eyes. So whenever I want to achieve a more intense look, then I use a different kind of technique with a different needle, a different movement, which is going to help me to release more color into the skin and therefore get a more defined look, okay? As far as pigments, we have three options that I generally use. You know that I always use only BIOTEK pigments, because BIOTEK pigments are my safest choice for everything. The range is wide, all colors are produced 100% in Italy. They're atoxic, unallergic, and compliant with all of the strict European and American regulations. So for the eyes, I generally space between these three colors. The first one is called Royal Black from BIOTEK, and this is an absolute black. This is 100% carbon black and is a very long-lasting and full black. It's going to be very full coverage. It's going to be very long-lasting. So this is a sort of like a same kind of black that is used for the black body tattoos. And this color has pros and cons. The pros is that it's easy to implant and it lasts very long into the skin. The con is that in the long run it's gonna pass from black to a more smoky kind of grayish black. So I always suggest to my customers, even though the color have not faded away completely, to come back for a touch-up so I can freshen up the result and give back the nice intense black color that my clients generally want. The second color, so the first one, it was a royal black and is the long-lasting black, and I use it mainly for infralashes. Why? Because between the lashes, you'll never get tired of this tattoo. Even when you're 90, you're still gonna want that very nice shaded effect between the lashes. You're never going to regret it. Second color is called warm black. This, as the name says, is a warmer kind of black, and the ingredients are carbon black, part carbon black and part iron oxides. So the color is warmer, has a more rich shade, but lasts less into the skin. I always suggest my customers, when I use this color, to come back for a touch-up after 1 or 2 years. The good news about this color is that it stays true black. It's not going to heal grayish or bluish, nothing. It's gonna stay nice and rich black. But it's gonna last less into the skin, 1 or 2 years. So I use this color, for example, is my perfect go-to choice when I do graphic eyeliners. When I want to extend out of the eye. Of course, the shape that fits me when I'm 20 is not gonna be the same shape that will fit me when I will be 90. So I rather use colors that will eventually fade away and will allow me to modify the shape of my eyeliner as the client comes back for touch-ups. Last but not the least, this is called warm brown. This is a brown color, and I use this color only on very blonde clients. Clients that are naturally so blonde that even the lashes are blonde. And in those cases, maybe, going for a fully black eyeliner would be a little bit too much, too intense. I want something a little bit softer that blends in better with her colors. Then in this case, I will use warm brown. In today's procedure, since my customer is a man and he specifically requested something extremely natural, he does not want to look like he's wearing makeup. So we're not just going to use a very delicate technique that's not going to implant a lot of pigment, but we're also going to use a mix of these two colors, warm black and warm brown, to make the result even softer. Okay, let's look at the procedure now. Okay, so let's see which kind of tools we need to execute this procedure. We're gonna use two colors, both from BIOTEK. The first one is warm black, and the second one is warm brown. The needle I've chosen is a 3-point soft liner needle from BIOTEK, and the machine is my trusty MAESTRO machine from BIOTEK as well. Well, what I love about this machine is that it comes already pre-equipped with 2 handpieces, a soft and a strong one. Generally, the strong one is ideal for linings and the soft one for shadings. In this case, I'm gonna go for the soft one because my aim today is not to achieve a very intense and defined look. I don't wanna do a too obvious eyeliner on my client, because he really specifically requested. It was a little bit, how men are. Huh? He was a little bit concerned about the result, that it would be too visible. So we're really going to show you today how to do the most natural, soft and conservative lash enhancement for men. And then in the second procedure, we can choose to build it up with a little bit more intensity and a little bit more visible. So we're gonna start with the first color, is the warm black from BIOTEK, and 3-point soft liner needle. We just do tiny little dots, one next to each other, but actually in a kind of a messy way. So not exactly in a line, but more one up, one down, one up, one down. And this step is essential to open the skin at first. Once you open the skin, then you will be able to apply a secondary anesthetic that will be able to penetrate into the skin. We let it sit for approximately from 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're ready to start again. So, for our procedure, as you can tell, I'm not going to use a back and forth movement like I would generally use on a female eye, just because I do not want, as I said, to achieve a too visible result. So I'm gonna proceed with tiny little dots, one next to each other, a little bit in a messy way, and the result would be very shaded, very undefined. It would just give me the illusion of having a more, let's say, more lashes, so a more defined look, but not like he's wearing makeup. That's my goal. So if you want to go very soft, do dots and don't do the back and forth, because the back and forth is going to give you more saturation. Okay, so the result will be more visible, it will be more intense. With the dots, you can really dose how much color you want into the skin. And for an even softer look, I'm combining two colors. The brown color, which is called warm brown, I use it mainly for the inner area of the eye, this one. And the black color, which is called warm black from BIOTEK, I use it in the areas that I want, more intensity. For example, on the outer area of the eye. The combination of dots and two colors will give me a very, very super soft result. Like no one will be able to tell that he got this procedure. It's just this kind of, beauty enhancing procedure. And then, in the second step that I'm for sure going to do on him, and it's gonna be, the second procedure is going to be recommended after 40-45 days, which is the time that the skin takes to fully recover. I can choose to use maybe only black or to add more dots if the client will request it. And I just go on like this. Look at that here, this is very important. You see how the skin is held? This is one of the most difficult but crucial things to learn when you do eyelid enhancement, like infralashes enhancement, because you want to make sure to really hold the skin in place and to flip the eyelid towards the top to be able to have an open area between the lashes where you can tattoo. You got to learn how to keep the eye still, because there is some involuntary movements that, of course, our eye is triggering, and we really want to make sure that the client is not able to move the eye at all, otherwise we will be imprecise. And believe me, this is not like a very painful procedure, not so much, or I wouldn't say not at all. I mean, a minimum discomfort, yes, but this is not something I would say is a painful. It's just, it looks worse than what it is. But you really have to learn to master how to hold and stretch the eye. Otherwise, you'll run into problems for sure. Now we're going to proceed with the lower lashes. And I used my trusty black BIOTEK marker. And I just traced some tiny little dots to show to my customer what will be the final result. And together we can, let's say, make sure to arrive to the point in which he feels comfortable with. One suggestion, make sure to always use the marker on dry skin, because if the eye is leaking and is a little bit crying, then the marker will have problems releasing the color onto the skin. Then I just proceed with the usual technique, dots. I'm using the black color, which I remind you once again is called warm black. And I love this color for eyeliners as well. It's a blend between carbon black and iron oxide, so it's not gonna heal bluish or too grayish or cold like some other black inks that are on the market do. So I really like this color, it's very flexible. I use it for men, for women, for infralashes, and also for graphic eyeliners or for shaded eyeliner. It's liquid, but it's not exactly runny like a body tattoo ink, but it's quite easy to implant and it gives me the best healed results. Look now, look how the eye is held. Okay, you can tell there is a minimum movement, but even if the client tries to move the eye, he cannot. You understand by yourself how important that is, right? And ta-da! That's the final and healed result after one session. And that's the immediately after result. Very natural. I hope you liked this procedure and that you got to see something new and interesting, hopefully that you've never seen before. So if I managed to give you this new piece of information, that I'm very satisfied. As always, if you have liked this video, please share your love, give me a thumb up. And if you have any question for me, you can drop me a message down below in the comments and I'll always get back to you. One more thing, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so you make sure never to miss one of my future contents. I'm gonna link in the description box below all of the products I've used for this video, as well as my Instagram link profile, so that we can connect there as well. Thank you very much for being with me today, and I see you in the next videos. Ciao!